by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by SRM Concrete, the largest ready-mix producer in the country, yet still family-owned and operated. Locally grown, nationally known, SRM delivers unmatched quality and service. SRM Concrete, you call, we haul. Speaking of hauling, we're right here with Eagleville head coach Floyd Walker. The Floyd Walker, I must say.
Let's not say the, man. Let's not do that.
So, the Floyd Walker. Coach, huge win last night on the road. You go to Huntland, home of one of Tennessee's most famous football players, Johnny Majors.
Right.
Do your kids know who Johnny Majors is?
They do. They do. A lot of our kids are big Tennessee fans, so they're familiar with Johnny Majors, and they're familiar with him coming from Huntland. So it was a good night for our kids. There was a lot of energy on our sideline. It was a good night to be an Eagleville Eagle.
And doggone right about that. So the Eagles were flying high, 44-7, I think was the final.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, speaking of flying high, it's like you're like Jimmy Superfly Snuka coming off the top rope. You remember Jimmy? You remember the Superfly?
How do you come up with these analogies?
But you remember the Superfly, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm old enough to remember.
So the Superfly come off the top rope, and man, he just flattened folks, and that's what you guys did last night. So 44-7. I want to talk about this. What's more important to you? Do you think the 44 or the 7, or both carry equal importance? Because obviously, great night offensively, great night defensively.
I'm always going to go with the defensive side. When you can play well defensively, you've always got a chance, and you may not need to score 44. You know, you're fortunate enough to score 44 points, but at the end of the day, all you want to be able to do is score one more than your opponent, and that's kind of what we hang our hat on. So if we can keep people to 7 points and win a game 8-7 or 10-7 or whatever it may be, we're always going to take it.
So going into this game, this was kind of like a showdown for first place in the region, right? Because y'all are region opponents.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was first, second, somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah.
Right. So showdown, to be able to come out, I mean, obviously you had your kids ready. It's a little bit of a road trip. But how far is Huntland from Eagleville?
It took us about an hour and a half to get there. We go down through Chapel Hill, through Fayetteville, and cut on over head on into Huntland. But I thought our kids really handled the bus trip well. Of course, you know, when you play in small 1A football, there's a lot of road trips like this where you have to travel over an hour. And but I really thought our kids handled the trip well.
So let's talk a little bit about the 44 aspect of it, the offense. Fantastic night. Jonathan Jordan, 18 carries, 136 yards. How about that kid? Tell me a little bit about Jonathan Jordan.
That kid has been so consistent and such a pleasure to watch blossom this fall. I mean, he runs hard, he runs tough, and last night he also taking every snap that they ran offensively. They seemed to want to double team Jonathan, and he had 2 linemen blocking him down the field, and then he switched over to offense and ran behind his pads all night long too to get 136 yards. But I tell you what, you couldn't ask for more out of a kid when it comes to effort and toughness last night, and it's everything that you'd like in a football player.
Running behind his pads. I love that terminology.
This is not about horse racing, okay? Don't lead me into something about horse racing.
Oh, I'm going to, Coach. We still got about 10 minutes, so don't worry, we're going to get there. So, but when he runs behind his pads, his vision. Talk about his vision a little bit.
He's got great feet, and he's able to see defenders, and that's the big thing about it. If you're a running back, you have to be able to see with your eyes, and your feet have to be able to get you where you need to go. And I think he's worked extremely hard to develop that craft. And again, that goes back to a kid that's been in the program for 3 years, who's a 4th-year senior, and you just love to watch a kid that just comes out of nowhere. Because, he wasn't on the radar last year. He played a little bit, but he wasn't playing as much behind Thomas Solomon and Caleb Snitzer. And to have the season he's having right now is really what high school football is all about.
Because his yards per carry, I mean, is up there. I'm not a great mathematician, but when you think about the yards per carry that this kid has, they're pretty amazing, isn't it?
It is, because I think one game he was averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 yards or 13 yards a carry. When you're doing that, that's a testament not only to that kid, but to the offensive linemen and tight ends and wide receivers up front too, because he gets all the notoriety
That
for the
glowing
yards
tree looks suspicious.
that he gets, but
What
there's a
hidden
lot of
treasure-minded
other people
guard?
that's helping out.
How
on
do you
that
plan
journey.
to tackle those
So
lurking
running the
shadows?
football has been a staple of Eagleville,
Right.
and running the football is how you win. I mean, I'm totally on board with you on that, Coach. But here's where we channel into this. Okay, so there's a horse running today at Keeneland, the Lexus Raven Run. She's a talented 3-year-old. Simply joking. Pennsylvania bred. She won the Silver Bullet Day, but simply joking. If I told you your quarterback was going to throw for 3 touchdown passes and be 8 for 10, would you think I was simply joking?
Absolutely, because he hadn't done it all year long. But I tell you what, I thought last night he grew up a bunch.
That's Benton Fox.
Ben Fox grew up a bunch. I thought he played extremely well, not only throwing the football, but he also had some tough physical runs last night. And anytime that your quarterback displays those type of characteristics, your entire team feeds off of that. When they see a quarterback that runs and doesn't evade, tacklers and drops his shoulder and gets the ball in the end zone, it's just another big boost for your entire sideline.
Inspiring, isn't it, when you see him run like that?
It really is, and it's not from a coaching standpoint. It's just to watch the other kids get the excitement of just watching him do something like that, because it came out of nowhere, and was something that they wasn't expected, and our Jazz level just went up tremendously after that happened.
Which, by the way, Simply Joking is 8 to 1 on the morning line. So if you want to get a little action on that, Simply Joking, 8 to 1 morning line, Lexus Raven Run today.
I'm good. I'm gonna keep my money.
But you can't win if you ain't in. But Benton Fox, so 3 touchdown passes, but 2 touchdowns rushing.
Right.
And you talked about his dual threat abilities. What class is Benton Fox?
He's a sophomore right now, so we'll have him for 2 more years, and he'll just continue to get better as he goes through those years.
So, Coach, that is a transition to what I want to talk about next, because I know you've got some good seniors, with Jordan being one of them.
Right.
But talk about some of your younger kids. Obviously, he's one of them. I think you've got some kids that play on defense. There's a Shepherd kid that plays quite a bit on defense stuff. Talk a little bit about the younger kids you got.
That's your Smyrna connection in there. That's what. Yeah, we got Ridley Shepherd. Ridley Shepherd's a freshman for us, and he's playing a little bit, playing a lot on special teams. He's a backup, strong safety for us right now. He got kind of banged up, got a thumb deal right now where he's got a cast on it, and he plays wide receiver. So obviously, as a wide receiver, it's kind of hard to play with a cast on your hand. But we think he's going to be a good football player in the years to come. We also got a sophomore named Kason Puffer, who had a big night last night. I think he had over 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. He's a starting free safety for us, too. So we've got some young people, got a young offensive lineman that we're all excited about. And we think the future is still, in good hands.
That's one of the encouraging things. I mean, because you guys have had a very nice season to this point.
Right.
But when you think about the mix of classes that you have, that's got to be awfully encouraging for you and Eagleville Nation.
It is. It's not something that you really, think about how old a kid is. You just know that, hey, this kid's playing defense, this kid's playing offense. But if you sit there and you pause and you look back and reflect on who's in the ball game as far as their youth goes, it's encouraging. It's highly encouraging.
Well, Coach, let's talk about what you got coming up. What you got coming up this coming week?
This coming week, we'll go to, well, first of all, here's the biggest thing that Eagleville has coming up this week is Our Lady Eagle volleyball team is making it to the state tournament, which starts on Tuesday. So we're excited for them, and our hat goes off to Coach Frizy and her staff and her kids, but they'll start playing in the state volleyball tournament this week, so hopefully they can bring a title home. I think our band right now is playing there. It's got a competition in Riverdale, but as far as football goes, we'll go to Zion Christian over in Columbia on Friday for a non-region game, and hopefully we'll play well there.
So the volleyball, that is something that's very exciting.
Yeah.
The Eagle, when you think about the Eagleville community and the Eagleville athletic program, the success you've had in softball and baseball and now volleyball and basketball and football, it's really exciting times in that community.
It is. I mean, and it's really fun to sit back and watch how all the kids and all the different sports, all the different activities get involved, and how they come out and how they support each other. I mean, we talk about how great the community is, but the student body at Eagleville does a super job of of coming out and supporting their peers, and you can't ask for a better atmosphere or a better closeness when it comes to a school.
Coach, I know that you're old school. I absolutely respect that. It's 1 week at a time.
Right.
Whenever I know you got non-region this week, but then you finish the season. It's a region game, the last game of the year.
Finish the season against Fayetteville City. We'll go down to Fayetteville City. It'll be on Halloween night. So that's 2 weeks away. But it's kind of like what you said is we're gonna enjoy last night. We'll get to work on Zion Christian this afternoon and tomorrow, and again, it'll be the same approach we tell our kids. We're just going to try to keep our feet, try to be where our feet are. And if we can do those things and take care of that type of business, I think we'll be all right.
Because, I mean, when we think about it, I'm just going to touch on the Huntland one more time. We were 44-7, man. You took them behind the woodshed. Is there any danger of your kids' heads getting a little bit too big for their helmets, you think, or that's what you're going to concentrate on?
I don't think so. I think our senior class does a tremendous job of trying to make sure that they stay grounded. They're a very humble group. They're very appreciative of the things that they have. They're very appreciative of what they get to do and who they get to do it with. And that's the huge thing about the locker room. The locker room is a very close-knit group. They kind of watch after each other, and we're just going to see what happens next week.
Well, Coach, you're doing a fantastic job. Eagleville's got lots of exciting things happening over there. Jonathan Jordan will be our SRM Solid Concrete Player of the Week player for Eagleville because of the 18 carries and 136 yards. Coach, we appreciate your time, and we most certainly do wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Danny, man. If y'all get a chance to come out on Tuesday, I think our volleyball team plays at 9:30 at Siegel on Tuesday. So if you get a chance to come out and support them, please do so.
Absolutely right. The Coaches Show is brought to you by J. Mullins Jewelry, a family-owned and operated business treating clients like family since 1938. Jewelry design, repair, and a wide selection of great jewelry pieces online at jmullinsjewelry.com.